Guess who's back in the house? I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. I have exciting news. I officially hit 1 million views, and thank you all to have recently come to my page. Um, Glad that you're here. And also to all of my new subscribers from the past weekend. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. So today I wanted to give a review of my experience at DragCon. DragCon LA was this weekend, and I went on day 2 and 3. Actually wanted to go to day 1, but I had a full day at work, and unfortunately I couldn't make it. And so day 2 and day 3 were really exciting. I actually wore these glasses and I shaved my beard. Normally I have like a full scruffy beard, but I shaved because I wanted to go in RuPaul boy drag, as you can tell. Maybe you can tell this way. So I went as Boy Paul. And so I wanted to talk about a few things. My top moments at DragCon, tips for people who are going to go to DragCon LA next year, and kind of like things that I would love to see at DragCon LA next year. So, one of the top things that I love seeing, I love drag in all of its forms. All drag is valid. I love the creativity. I love the audacity. I love the commitment. And there were so many cool looks. And then there's kind of so many different types of drag. And so it was just amazing, just kind of like meeting all of these amazing drag queens from all over the world. I met people from Australia, from Toronto, from Texas. And so that was really cool. I actually met one of Honey Davenport's daughters. So that was really cool. Her name is Misty. I forget her last name, but I loved her entire drag look. Another thing that I loved were just seeing the different types of spaces that the queens had for their meet and greets. The top space goes to Alyssa Edwards. Alyssa Edwards was sponsored by Anastasia of Beverly Hills, which is one of the main sponsors of RuPaul's Drag Race. And so Anastasia created this over-the-top makeup bar experience. The cool thing about Alyssa's space is that individuals could actually take a photo with a professional photographer at Alyssa's space. And the photos that I took actually looked amazing. I'm gonna try to include them at the end of this video. She had the top space. Other cool spaces were Aquaria. She was actually sponsored by NYX Cosmetics. And so it was kind of like, I think she has a makeup kit with them. And I think the makeup kit comes in a silver container. And so the theme and the kind of the color scheme was silver. And on day 2 and 3, she had on this really cool silver outfit, which looked really cool. And someone told me that she actually borrowed her drag mother, Sharon Needles' outfit from a runway challenge that Sharon had on her season. which I thought was pretty cool. I wish I had a drag mother that I could borrow clothing from. Um, the meet and greets. And so um, I had to be really selective about the meet and greets that I went to because I have a fear of missing out. And there is so much that goes on at DragCon. You have the main stage where there are performances, you have panels that are exciting and informative. Um, you have the kind of like standard meet and greets that were kind of like towards the back of the convention center. And then you have the meet and greets that are at the actual booths where the queens are selling their like merchandise. And so I I only went on two meet and greets, and those were with Brooklyn Heights and Evie Oddly. And they were both lovely. Um, with Brooklyn, I waited about 30 seconds for her meet and greet, and she actually said that from afar. She thought it was RuPaul, so I was like, yes, mission accomplished. So that was funny. Actually, a lot of people thought I was RuPaul from like afar. Um, um, and Evie Oddly, um, just kind of like close face to face contact, just being around her was such a delight, such a joy. If I like won the lottery, I would follow her around the world just to hear her laugh. Um, and her space was kind of like really kind of like psychedelic out there. She had really cool pens, and so did Brooklyn. Another thing that I loved about DragCon is that it is probably one of the biggest LGBTQ plus business um, meetups. You have vendors who are selling everything from makeup, wigs, um, clothing, accessories. There was Kennedie who sells um, high fashion leather accessories like harnesses and wallet chains. Um, there were just so many different queer businesses, and that was a cool thing, just the networking that was taking place. So I really love that. Um, for Evie's booth, I probably waited about 30 minutes to see Evie, and I only waited 30 minutes because I had a VIP badge. And the VIP badge is really cool because it was signed by Rue himself. And so, and this goes into kind of like my tip if you want to go to DragCon LA next year, do not get general admission. I had actually read up on general admission beforehand. General admission is about $70 for a single day ticket, and general admission for the weekend is about 140. VIP, which includes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it is $300. So I actually logged onto StubHub and I found a ticket for 140 for VIP. And so VIP is basically a fast pass, so you don't have to wait in line for the meet and greets. And so for Evie's space where she was selling her merch, there were people that waited for 2 hours. And The crazy thing is that the most popular, not crazy, but um, everyone who's extremely popular in the convention center, it's broken up into kind of like, I guess like alleyways. And so on the Work the World alleyway, those were the most popular queens. So it was Detox, Manila, Evie, Latrice, Trixie, Katya, and Alaska. Katya and Trixie's lines were ridiculous. There was a guy who had VIP, that in VIP, he waited 5 hours to get a picture with Trixie. 5 hours. Trixie, I love you, but I'm not waiting 5 hours for a photo. I would wait 5 hours for maybe lunch, to have lunch, maybe 5 hours to go on a shopping trip with Trixie, but not for a photo. Um, so, tip number 2, get VIP. Go to the website, look at the map of the convention center. The day before you go, figure out the booth number for the queens that you want to meet. And then once the space opens, immediately run to the one that you think is going to be the most popular. That way you save time because there's a lot going on. Also on Saturday is the kind of like ribbon cutting ceremony, and so you have to get to the convention center early, and then it's the Queen's entrance on the pink carpet, and so I got to the pink carpet late, and so I actually thought I was getting there early. And so people were lined up for hours. So I was trying to get a good spot to get like a good video. The joke was on me because I had to wait in the nosebleed section, and I posted that video, and what people were reading me because I was in the back of the room. They were like, "Get a better view." Well, I couldn't bulldoze my way through the crowd, so that's why you got that view. Sorry about it. Um, Decide which panels that you want to go to. That's really important. You cannot go to DragCon without going to a good panel. I went to see Rue and the Pit Crew, and it was hilarious. Rue needs to do stand up because he is hilarious. Um, Rue also did 2 DJ sets, which I thought was really cool, and it was very meta to see RuPaul play his own songs. So that was a cool moment. Um, so if you're going to DragCon next year, this is the best tip that I can give you, especially if you're coming from out of town. Start a GoFundMe page right now so you can fund your whole trip. Hotel, airline ticket, snack money, meet and greets. So I'm on a budget, so that's only why I went to 2 meet and greets. Those 2 meet and greets were $60 together. The rent is always due on the 1st. So I had to choose, am I going to pay rent for June, or am I going to be out on the street with a bunch of photos of these girls that I can see in West Hollywood for free and take a photo? So I had to make a decision. So I chose to take a picture of just with 2 people. However, I would have taken pictures with everyone. I could not. Um, so start those GoFundMe's right now. I'm starting mine after I log off of YouTube. For out of towners, I would stay either in Little Tokyo or the Arts District. Or if you can stay in like the downtown area, I would do that. But it will be cheaper in Little Tokyo or the Arts District. And then you can just take the train to the convention center. The convention center is off of the Pico station, which is right next to LA Live, which is that's where the Staples Center is. Um, this is so important. So there are literally um, 30 different events that happen around DragCon, like the queens performing at different spaces. Figure out which events you want to go to ahead of time and do your research. Unfortunately, on the DragCon page, they don't feature events that are happening after DragCon. And so the Vixen actually performed at Precinct, her legendary show Black Girl Magic, and I hate that I missed it. I would have loved to have seen it. It featured one of my favorite local queens, Amber Crane. You can follow her on Instagram at the Amber Crane. Jasmine Masters was there. I love Jasmine Masters. Her Whitney Houston is so on point. Um, and there were some other queens that I really wanted to see. So that was unfortunate. There was the Battle on the Runway, which took place at the Ace Theater, which is one of my favorite theaters in LA. And I didn't know about it, so that sucked. And then Nina West performed at Precinct on Friday, which I wanted to go to, but I was so exhausted. By the time I got off of work on Friday night, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So, local people who are going to DragCon LA, call into sick, call into work sick on Friday. You'll thank me later. I wish I would have done that. Because on Friday, if you're VIP, you get a sneak peek into DragCon, and you can actually do meet and greets on Friday. And so it's less people on Friday, and you'll get more time to spend with the queens. So for the meet and greets, with the all of them were $30. You can get merchandise and then meet the queens. I recommend getting the pins because the pins are really cool. And you can kind of like, put them on like any type of like denim jackets or fanny packs or backpacks. And so that those will last forever. So I recommend getting the pins. I actually bought a t-shirt for one of my good friends. Um, and so things that I would love to see happen at DragCon is better signage. So all of the contestants from season 11 were there. However, I couldn't find half of their booths. The only people from season 11 whose booth that I saw was Miss Vanjie, Brooklyn, of course, and Evie. Um, who else? I think those were the only ones. Like I couldn't find Ariel, and I only saw Ariel's booth on Sunday when we were when it was basically over, so she wasn't there. Um, Someone told me that Silky was next to Vanjie, but I walked around that area like 3 times and didn't see it. Oh, I also saw Akira's. She looked beautiful on Saturday, and she was like a vision in yellow, just yellow from head to toe. Gorgeous. I couldn't find Sugar. Um, Oh, I actually passed by Scarlet and Soju's. Um, Scarlet's was all red. It was on brand, and every day she had on a red gown. Um, Soju looked great on Saturday and Sunday. Very regal. I felt like Saturday she wore this kind of like yellow dress, and I thought it was kind of like almost like a replica of the Rihanna dress from the Met Gala when she had that huge train behind her. Who else? Raja. I only saw her on Sunday, but I actually went to give her a hug, and I told her that I felt that she was misunderstood by the public. And I hope she's on All Stars in the future. Who else is there? I'm blanking on everyone else. Oh, I did see Honey Davenport, and she looked great. Um, Everyone else I couldn't find, and so I hope that they have better signage so you can figure out who is where. Um, some things that surprised me were seeing some of the older queens. April Carry On looked incredible. I didn't even know who she was at first. I actually walked in to the convention center right behind her, and I was like, "Oh, who's this beautiful woman?" And it was April. Um, so, just I love the transformation of contestants from their seasons to where they are now. Mariah Balenciaga is just incredibly talented with the makeup brush, and is just disturbingly beautiful. Sharon's makeup skills have increased. Gia Gunn um, is was absolutely golden, like suntanned. Um, the ponytail was all the way to the floor. She had this amazing bodysuit on Sunday, and she looked absolutely beautiful. And I love kind of like the OGs from season one that were there, so that was incredible. Tammy Brown was there, and is just such a kooky and fun person. Love seeing her. Um, and overall, I had a really good time. Um, it just feels so good to be around so much like queer energy and queer business owners and queer entrepreneurs, and so I loved it completely. One thing that I hate that I didn't see was I really want to see Kennedy Davenport. Kennedy said that she would be in town for DragCon, but she had just won a title somewhere. I think it was in the Miss Gay USA system. I forget which state, but congratulations, Kennedy. I would have loved to have seen you, but I know you just won your title. It was weird, kind of like the people who weren't there. Valentina wasn't there, which I was shocked. Naomi Smalls wasn't there. Shangela wasn't there. Um, Shea Coulee wasn't there. So people that I thought was going to be there wasn't there. But I feel like um, with DragCon New York being around the corner in September, that some of the queens, it'll be easier, especially the ones that live in New York. It'll be easy in New York, East Coast. It'll be easier for them to go to DragCon New York. I'm going to try to go to DragCon New York because that would be such a really cool experience. Um, so this concludes my review. I will be posting my trade review of the season finale on Thursday. And also on Thursday, I'm going to a taping of RuPaul's talk show. So that will be really exciting. And so I'll do a little review of the talk show as well. So again, thanks to all the new followers. I hope that you enjoyed um, my brief review of DragCon, and I will see you all soon. Besos.